So what's wrong with Rusty? As I'm writing this down, I can't help but notice how difficult it is to even start. I know that there's something wrong with me. I know that I sometimes come close to seeing this fact and that it brings me down to horrible levels, but I can't for the life of me figure out what it is. Perhaps it's my narcissism. The fact that I've spent my whole life convinced that I was so much better than everyone else, that I somehow was more important, talented, and intelligent, and all round more awesome. Whenever I saw something which was done better than what I could have done, I always rationalized that I was so good at writing stories, or drawing, or photographing, composing, thinking, or even being mature, that it didn't matter if a person could trump me in one. I was an idiot. And indeed I've proven to be less competent than what I initially assumed myself to be. I have met fantastic artists, composers that can make me cry, thinkers that can analyze so much better than I, people who can exist as themselves without the need for the illusion of maturity I cling to. This my mind had trouble coping with. It's been an existential breakdown of what I thought myself knowing. So what can someone who is such a narcissist do when faced with the evidence of the lack of his superhumanity? Either he can accept the fact that the world is full with talented people, that his existence isn't depending on being the best, rather than learning to exist without having to justify it. Or he can turn the table inwards towards himself and start exercising this narcissism on himself instead, feeling threatened because he isn't better than himself in drawing, thinking, or being mature. And what did I do? I did both. And I strapped myself in this existential conflict between what I know, what I think, and what I do and how I act. Constantly analyzing myself and hating myself for not being better than me at composing. Then hating myself for hating myself because I know there's nothing to hate. This is the curse of the narcissist. See, when I try to better my narcissism, I might see it as a way of becoming better than other people. Realizing that I am not the best at everything, that we are all special, that everyone is worth something, can be turned into something for which I can feel superior to other people for. Therefore, when I do not manage to not feel jealousy, I can't feel superior for not feeling superior than others, which infuses me with inadequacy. And on top of that, I at the same time have to rationalize away when I see better musicians or artists that I am more competent in some other way, even though I know perfectly that it's okay not to be. Now, my narcissism is hidden. If you had a thought of me as being somewhat cutesy or shy, you are not wrong. Cute is the main adjective I'm described as, and I am shy. The need to feel superior is something which isn't visible to any but my friends, and which I am ashamed of. It is there because I feel that I need to earn my existence through my talents. That if I can't be better than someone, I will be isolated and thrown away. I don't want to live a life like that. And that is why I'm so freaking strict with making music that expresses my existence, my thoughts, and my feelings, and which makes me absolutely shun and dislike any form of success theories, or ways to make art or music that industries like or which earns the most money, because that puts my talent, creativity, and my very being into something I must use and compete with in order to prove my right to exist and to live a rich life. This might be a boring video, I know. I used to be much more fun and jokey, but that part of me is in hiding somewhere and only shows up on random occasions. And I did not expect to talk this long about just narcissism. I hadn't really realized that it could run this deep. I spoke of an identity crisis in a comment of my previous song, and while it's true that I struggle with myself cognitively, I do not question who I am. I know what I stand for, but it is when I feel or think in manners which I know intellectually and ethically to be questionable or rotten, which I sink into despair. The most important thing, if you struggle with this too, I think, is not to fight it. You won't ever silence the dissonance of thought by fighting it angrily in the spur of the moment. You must gently guide it aside and tell it to sit quietly in the corner with its shame cap on, until you can face it with your actual feelings and thoughts, not anger. I wanted to speak about my song The Morning Sun, too, but I've realized that the reason I felt it was a curse was because I was jealous that I wasn't any better than myself from 5 months ago. I will end this monologue here, even though I feel stressed by doing it. There are many more things that are wrong with Rusty, but this is one of the most important ones right now when it comes to YouTube. I am in utter despair because of my inability to be better than myself, and every person I know who are better than me I have to rationalize away. This is by no means something which I am alone with, but something which I have noticed now, and I'm slowly defeating. I can feel it, thanks to you guys, and I mean that a lot. Now on to YouTube. The changes I hinted at in my previous video's description is about that I will try to share more things with you. This means that I will no longer only share my songs. I will try to share my thoughts, my stories, my art and myself, not to increase the number of subscribers I have, but to teach myself that I can exist, to teach myself that my life is not about performing or earning things, but living and sharing my individuality with other individuals. I would like to thank you who have subscribed to me for believing in my ability, those of you who comment and who makes me happy with your kind words, and those of you who have donated. I have been given $5 in total by 3 people, and although I have a job, those $5 feel worth so much more than any salary I have ever received. Thank you. So, I don't know how many of you would want to keep watching me after this video, but I hope you won't all go away, and I hope that the videos, which I will start uploading in a time, I have no idea what time that will be. It might be a month from now, or maybe a week. I have no idea, but I lost my train of thought. Well, anyway, you will be hearing from me. Bye. Speak of individuality and be. I know it's lame to think that I can't write quickly and see. I'm still the same when things are right, still rhyme I see. So why is everything I do so damn subpar? Perhaps I'm lost again, writing things just without aim, and then I'm flying low, crashing in the field of shame. And how can I get out, or is my mind back at the start? I hope that I just can play a better part. I always strive to see if I can top myself. B, I never want to see if I can top myself. I just really want to create the music just for me and make something that I can dance to. No, cognitive dissonance. I living my cognitive dissonance. I living my cognitive dissonance.